I have your attention, please? It's time for the final countdown. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's rock.
It's the world according to Woot. It's the world according to Woot. According to Woot. Good evening, Simi Valley.
Good evenings. Not just good evenings, me Valley. Good evening, everybody.
Yes.
Hi, you guys.
Hi,
Well,
everyone.
we missed a week last week.
We did.
We did. Why did we miss our week? I don't even
Because
remember.
I got called in for a gig at the last minute.
That darn work. It gets in the way all the time.
Yeah, it sure does.
Anyway, welcome everybody. Welcome to our 7th episode of WAW season 2. We're still going.
Welcome
Whether
to
you want us to or not, we're still going.
Welcome to WAW, the show where important topics of the day are largely ignored.
And foolishness reigns supreme. I want that first line, by the way. The second line. Hello, Scott Hathaway. Hello, Eddie. Yes, Eddie.
Eddie.
And Eddie, I want to
And
say
Henry,
that I'm
hey.
so sorry about the loss of your father. I am
Oh,
just,
yes.
my
yes.
heart broke for you. I'm so sorry. So sorry.
Sorry about that, Eddie, but he still likes the flowing mane.
The mane
today.
is extra flowing today. Thanks, Ed.
Thank you,
I
Eddie.
appreciate it so much.
He's my biggest supporter.
Hey, Cynthia Romo. Welcome. Thank
Hi,
you.
Cynthia.
Yes.
Hi, Cyn.
So,
Hey, Scott. Hi,
Scott
Janine.
Hathaway. So, can I just brag a little bit on Scott Hathaway a little bit?
Sure.
So, our friend Scott Hathaway is building me a craft table, and he sent me a picture tonight, and it is absolutely beautiful. I am so excited to get it. I cannot wait. Anyway,
We're
I just wanted to say
figuring
that.
out where we can put it there, Scott. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm excited. So anyway, we have a special show tonight.
Yes, but first we have to ask the eternal question.
All right.
What's
What's happening?
Lots happening.
A lot
on this
happening,
end.
yeah.
A lot,
We
we just came off of a run of 5 shows in a row, Wednesday through Sunday. And
I mean, we drove.
yeah,
we drove
did.
hours and hours. We were in Arizona. We were in Arizona one day and California the next. I mean, it was a whirlwind.
We were down at Yamava Casino for a couple of nights, and then we went over to Casino, Arizona. And then we came back and played at the Canyon on Sunday evening.
Yes. Ray and Val are tuning in.
Hey, Ray.
Claire.
Hi, Val.
Yep. And then
Hi,
yesterday, I have to say,
Lulu.
yesterday might have been my favorite day.
Oh, I'm trying to figure out.
He doesn't
what
even
you're
know
talking
you
about.
were there. I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you were there.
You want to tell them a little bit about
So
that?
we didn't go to Disneyland. We went to California Adventure, and we spent the entire day. And Jim and I were calculating the hours that we were actually there. We were there for 11 hours, and we went with our good friend Shannon Ray
Yeah.
and her husband Tony and their friends,
was
and
fun.
we had such a great time. And,
Yeah, it was fun.
And Jim got sick on a roller coaster.
Hey, come on now. You're going to have
He
to
did.
clarify that.
No,
sick
you got
comment.
sick.
I didn't throw up.
No,
I
but
did not throw up.
you were white. You were white. He would.
I got
I
news
looked.
for you. I'm white anyway.
I looked at him at the end of the roller coaster ride, you guys, and he was breathing. He was doing that, like a person in labor, how they would breathe, that really concentrated breathing. That's what he was doing at the end of the roller coaster
Wait,
ride.
Eddie's doing sound at Downtown Disney right now.
Oh,
Isn't that funny?
I can't believe we missed you, Eddie.
We
Were you
missed
there
him by a
last
day.
night?
No, we missed him by a day. He said.
Oh man.
We got Cherie has joined us. Thank you so much for clicking on Cherie. But we had a lot of stuff going on, guys.
We did.
2 shows at the Casino Arizona, completely sold out. We can't thank you enough for that. That was an incredible weekend. And I was, at the end of the night, I was completely blown away because our good friend from Arizona, Mike Sismusiak.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we should have downloaded that picture.
Oh, man.
So,
yeah, it's incredible. I'm actually going to post it on my page.
All right.
But he said, hey, I have a gift for you. And so at the end of the night, when I'm going to load out, I'm pulling around to the back, and Brenda and Mike are walking around to meet me. And he's got a bass case in his hand. He opens it up, and it's a 1974 Candy Apple Red Precision bass. And he says, both my father and my brother used to play. I'm not able to play because I've got a disability in my right hand. Can't think of anybody else I would like to have this bass but you. So he gave me that bass. You know, let me go grab it real quick. Here.
Jim's going to show off his new toy. All right.
You
so hold on.
This
is the unprofessional part where this is what we do. We don't have crew to hand us the bass player, so one day we'll have crew. I really truly believe that. If you guys keep supporting us, we want to keep on doing this for you because we love coming to you on Wednesday night and chatting with all of you guys. So
see if I can get this.
All right, here we go. Jim's about to show off his new toy. So someone gave him this, not only gave him this, but gave you an amazing case.
Look at
gave
that,
you
guys.
Strings.
Yes.
Beautiful.
1974 Fender Precision bass. Gave it to me.
And then he proceeds to tell me how much he loves Jim and how Jim is the nicest guy. And I proceeded to say to him, welcome to my life. That's everybody says that.
But you don't believe that?
No,
that's
I
true?
do believe it. That's why I married you. But I married you because you're a nice guy.
Look at that headstock, guys. Look at that. Is that awesome or what?
So someone
Mike,
gave Jim a bass.
You're unbelievable.
Yeah,
brother.
thank you
so much.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike.
All
right, well, should we talk about this weekend?
Well, we didn't finish about last weekend.
Okay.
Sunday, we had Soft Rock Sunday at the Canyon Club in Agora.
We sure did.
And guys,
oh wow. What a night.
Thank you enough for coming out on a Sunday night to support Deja Vu, tribute to Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, and Tailor Made Tapestry, which is tribute to Carole King and James Taylor.
That was amazing.
You guys came out in force. It was a complete success. The booker and promoter loved it, and he wants to have us back. We're looking at possibly coming back on May 8th, I believe it is, which is going to be Mother's Day. So
at the Canyon.
Mark that
I mean,
up.
what better show to do than Mother's Day?
Yeah. James Taylor and Carole King.
So should we just give them a little bit of a glimpse on what we're doing tonight, and then we can talk about next weekend? Who we have on the show tonight? Oh
yeah, well tonight we've got an incredible tribute artist that we've Led Zeppelin has had the pleasure of sharing the stage with a few times in the past. It's Dan Grennes from Petty and the Heartshakers.
So no, really, it's Tom Petty. I'm telling you, if Tom Petty was alive still, you would not believe that this guy was not Tom Petty. He looks, sounds, inflections, everything. This guy nails it. And our manager, I actually had a conversation with James Elliott this morning about him, and James, same thing. James said he's the best, and he is the best.
Yes, yeah, he's
just amazing.
Awesome.
So we're so thrilled to have him on. So we're going to have him on about 7:15, 7:20. Rick, hey Rick.
Brother Steve Elo is there, and
Steve
so is
Elo.
Jennifer and Cindy.
Yes.
Jacqueline
Gantz, a longtime
and
friend
Rick.
of mine.
Hey Rick, thanks for joining us, brother.
So
Janine.
This weekend.
And Gina Adams is with us.
Hello,
Thanks
Gina.
so much for joining
us,
guys.
All right.
So yeah, now we're going on to this week. Weekend.
Yeah.
So we got some great stuff happening here. Friday night, Led Zeppelin is going to be at the Concert Lounge back in Riverside. We haven't been there for like 4 years, so this is going to be awesome. We love that venue.
Yep. So guys... I'm gonna show you a picture, and I don't think you'll.
No, that's not.
Oh, okay.
That's not for this show.
Okay.
You're thinking of the one on Sunday.
All right.
But the very next night, that's the Concert Lounge in Riverside is Friday night at 9 p.m. I think tickets are like $15. And we're going to be getting the let out from like 9 to like 11 that night. So
Romano's Concert Lounge.
put on your seatbelts and get ready to rock.
In Riverside.
Yeah,
Okay.
Romano. Yeah, Gary Romano
Yeah.
owns it, but it's called the Concert
Okay.
Lounge.
But I
in
mean, some
Riverside.
people might know it by Romano's, so I feel like we should say that.
Yeah, well, he owns it, but that's not what it's called anymore. It's not Romano's Concert Lounge. It's actually called the Concert Lounge.
He
now.
loves to correct me, people. Have you ever noticed that? He
She
does.
makes it so easy.
Well, it's because I don't fight back.
Hey, Gary, thank you for joining us. Hi, Eric. Thanks for joining us, brother.
All right.
Okay, so and then the very next night at the Coach House in San Juan Capistrano, that's Saturday the 5th. It's going to be Hello, Mr. Soul. I'm going to be sitting in with Gary Wallenmeyer, our good friend, and along with Devitt Feely, Ray Kokel, and Shannon Ray is going to be joining us.
Yeah.
That's Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Then Sunday night, not Sunday night, Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening, we've got two very special Led Zeppelin shows. Led Zeppelin Unplugged. We're playing all the acoustic classics along with your favorite tunes in a unplugged style.
And I'm going to show you a little graphic. And when we show you this graphic, you're not going to hear us, but I'll give you a little graphic. 1 sec. Sorry. All right, here we go.
Okay.
So that you will find on your every page.
No, it's not going to be on my page. In fact, it's only on the Coffee Gallery page. And the shows are at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. There's only 50 seats available for each show. If you want to go to either one of those performances, you want to show that poster again? And there's a phone number on there.
All right, we'll show it. You'll see us, but here.
Yeah. See that, please call for reservations. You have to call that
Here,
number.
you go to this side. There you go.
So there's the number right in the middle, guys. Just call them, tell them how many seats you need to reserve, and then you just go and then you pay at the door.
All right.
But it's 2 hours of Led Zeppelin classics. We're doing all the acoustic tunes, Going to California, That's the Way, Battle of Evermore, along with Stairway, Kashmir, All of My Love, all of that. She's trying to hurry me up, and I'm not sure why.
Because we don't, we're at time. We're at time now. We still have more stuff. So
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
All right.
I just wanted to let them know about these
Yeah,
shows.
you did it. All right. Sunday we have there is a special show. We will not be involved. I will be there though. It's Sunday at the Canyon Club. It's show 2 of Soft Rock Sunday. Last week, Soft Rock Sunday, we had Tailor Made Tapestry and Deja Vu. And you guys, we filled the room. It was amazing. I was shocked. I was scared about Sunday. So we want to fill the room again. This Sunday, we have Ronstadt Revival and Hello, Mr. Soul, which is a fantastic Neil Young band. And I'm not sure if you guys can hear us. Hopefully you can. Anyway, this Sunday, show number 2 of Soft Rock Sunday, March 6th at doors open at 6 p.m. So we're going to show you a little promo video of our Soft Rock Sunday. So hang in.
Hey, it's Shannon of Ronstadt Revival, and we've got a great show coming up this Sunday, March 6th at the Canyon in Agoura Hills. It's going to be such a fun night of live music with opening set by Hello, Mr. Soul, a tribute to Neil Young. And Ronstadt Revival hits the stage at 8. So grab all your friends and come on out early for a great dinner and a fun night. Sunday fun day at the Canyon, baby. I'll see you there.
All right, so that is Sunday at the Canyon with Ronstadt Revival. Again, Hello, Mr. Soul. And
Led Zeppelin at the Coffee Gallery, 2 p.m.
Yeah.
and 6 p.m.
Yeah.
We'll tell you a little bit more at the end of the night on that one as well. But we want to get to our guests right now. We're going to show a little promo video. Now, you got to keep in mind here, guys, what we're going to show you is not Tom Petty. You're going to think it is, but it's actually Dan Grennes, our guest.
Yeah,
tonight.
you will
So,
think it is. He's fantastic.
We're going to get right to that clip right now. So go ahead and roll the tape, Roscoe.
All right, Roscoe.
Well, she was an American girl, raised on promises. It don't really matter to me, baby. Everybody said she likes to be free, so you know. Hey, like a refugee. Yeah, stand my ground. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. What if I love you, baby? Don't do me like that. Hey! Don't come around here no more. Don't come around here no more. But baby, break down. Go ahead and give it to me. Break down, wanna take me through the night. Running down the street. Never would come with me. Working on a mystery. Going wherever it leads. Running down the street. Come on, y'all, don't be afraid to get up. Come on.
And here he is, Dan from Petty and the Heartshakers.
Welcome, Mr. Dan.
Hello.
Grennes.
I got
Mr.
familiar.
I do not believe your name is Dan, but
My middle name is Thomas, so I guess that kind of works.
Is it really? It's not.
is.
It is? Oh my God.
My middle name is Tom.
Oh, wait, oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
And it froze for a second there.
Yep.
How you doing tonight, Dan?
I'm doing great. Great. Thanks for having me on your show.
Oh my
man.
gosh. We
It's our
are,
pleasure.
yeah, we're so thrilled to have you on. I've seen you guys, but I have to say, I see so many bands. So I did not pay attention, and I didn't pay attention, but I certainly paid attention when he gave me your YouTube address last night to watch the show. I could not believe it, Dan. I was blown away.
Man.
Blown away. You nail it. And I'm sure you hear that all the time. I'm sure you do.
Well, it's funny. I think maybe as early as 13 years old, I remember some guy going, "You kind of look like Tom Petty." And then it's just ever since, all through my adult life.
You know, it's funny, Dan. There's only one other person that I know in the tribute world like this. A few weeks ago, it was our friend Karen Hester who does Dolly Parton. But you're the only tribute artist that I know that not only sounds like him when you're singing, but you can sound like him when you're talking. I mean, you sound like him when you're talking. That's
It's
great.
really the funny thing, I guess, because so this is kind of how it all started, I guess. I remember, years ago, people said, "Oh, you should do a Tom Petty tribute," and I thought, I like him, but I don't know if I want to. Because I've seen some tribute bands, and I have nothing against them. It just, to me personally, I never wanted to act like someone else. I wanted to just be myself and play from the soul when I'm on stage.
Right,
Sure.
And
right.
so it just kind of had, the concept was kind of hard for me to grasp. I think it's just a personal thing, probably just a confidence thing.
Sure.
And then I started really checking out Tom more and watch, because I was always a casual fan, but I started watching. I watched the documentary Runnin Down a Dream, and that's when I was like, man, I love this guy, and I had so much in common with him. I grew up in North Carolina. I'm a Southern boy too. Kind of lost the accent, but
Oh, so yeah, that was our first question for
Yeah,
you. Is
yeah.
Where were you born and raised?
Yeah, I grew up in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Wow.
And, I was there until I was 18, and then I got the heck out and went north to Boston to Berklee College of Music.
Okay.
I was in Nashville for a bit, and then New York City for 18 years. And,
Wow.
I've been in Vegas for 9, so just kind of all over the place.
So you're in Vegas right now.
I am.
What part of Vegas are you in?
I'm in Henderson,
Oh, I love Henderson. I know
Kentucky, as they
Yeah.
call it.
Yeah.
you get a lot of bang for your buck in Henderson, I'm telling you, versus where we live.
Oh man.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it's gotten crazy lately because so many California people are moving here. So
Telling you.
Man, if things don't, if
We
things
might
don't
see you in a
change,
little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
Change. Either we're moving to Vegas or we're living in my van. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Not that bad yet. but it's getting there. It's
So-
getting there.
Yeah.
Did you always have aspirations to be in the entertainment business, Dan?
I would say since I was in high school, yes. I've always loved music. I mean, ever since I was a little kid, my parents told me I almost broke the record player trying to pull it down, trying to figure out where the music was coming from when I was like 3, I think, or 5 or something.
So we
Yeah, I was listening to Carole King. I think, don't you play in the
Yeah,
band that Carole King?
that's
I
right.
think it was You're So Far Away was playing. And I
Oh,
yeah.
did something to the record player and I scratched the record. And after that, every time we played You're So Far, it would be you're so yeah, you're so yeah, you're so and then you have to far away.
so our good friend
That was
Gary
me.
Yeah,
Our good friend Gary Grantham says, I don't need to tell you this, but your organic authenticity is the core of what makes your petty show so compelling. And Gig, do you know Gary
you
Grantham?
know, Gig. from
lead
the-
star of
I do.
Long Run.
Thanks,
Yes,
Gary.
yes,
Yeah.
So it's amazing.
You know, I think we decided like more on the whole tribute thing and how I felt weird about trying to act like someone else. The more I realized that I was similar to Tom in so many ways, even my voice just naturally is kind of the same range. The more I realized, you know what, I could just be myself on stage. Like when we're in between songs, I'm not trying to be Tom. I'm like, hey, I'm a fan like you guys. You know, we're all humbled. We're humbled to be playing his music. And so I
Absolutely.
think with that kind of approach, I feel more comfortable with kind of doing the tribute for him. In
Well,
that
and
respect, I could just kind of lean in his direction when I play the songs, but I can still be myself.
That's
Sure,
right.
sure.
And I know our lead singer Swan with Led Zeppelin always says, I'm not trying to be Robert Plant.
Right.
I'm paying tribute
And
to
trying to keep the magic alive.
the magic
yeah.
of Robert Plant and his music. I'm not trying to replace him. It's
Yeah.
you know, it's a privilege to be able to play that music, and it's an honor. I think it honors them to do it the best you can.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we try to do it as respectfully as possible. And I know you do too. I
Yeah.
mean, man, it's very evident by watching your show. I mean, the first time I heard the group, I remember walking into it was actually an outdoor venue. So it was kind of a tent that we had out back there, I think. And I heard you guys break into the first tune and you started singing and I walked out. I'm like, wait, what? What is this?
And I'll tell you,
Oh,
for
man.
him to say that is
I was completely blown away. You just sounded exactly like him. It was amazing.
So David Garcia wants to know, have you ever met Tom Petty?
Unfortunately, I never did. I wanted to go see him on the 40th anniversary tour, and I was really busy that year. I was playing in Raiding the Rock Vault and a couple other shows in Vegas, and then doing our Petty and the Heartshakers stuff. And so I was like, I'll catch him later in the year. And then, of course, not possible now. But yeah, I was bummed. But I'm fortunate to be friends with John Scott, the guy who broke Tom Petty on the radio. And a lot of people don't know about him, but he has a great book out right now that talks about the story. So he was a promo man, which were very important back in those days, of breaking anybody on the radio. And he got a job at ABC Records. And I'll just tell a quick story about that. He had just gotten fired from, I forgot what his previous label is, MCA maybe. and for pushing a guy named Johnny Cougar, and nobody believed in him, and they said, you've got to let it go, and so they fired him. And so he got hired by ABC Records by a friend of his who was his boss there. And so he, I think he first told him, welcome to ABC. Just don't do what you did over at MCA, please. And he's like, all right. So he went into his office, opened up his closet, and the first thing he saw was a record literally fell out of the closet that had a blank label on it. He's like, what the heck is this? So he popped it on, and of course it was Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, who he had never heard of. And he was just blown away by the album. He listened to it on his headphones twice.
Wow.
Then he went out to his boss, and he's like, this is a great band. Who is this? It's like, oh yeah, that's Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. They're a dead act. They've been out for 8 months. We're probably going to drop them. And he's like, are you crazy? This is amazing. Breakdown and American Girl were on that album.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
On the cover, he had a black leather jacket with bullets around it, and it kind of looked a little punky. And I think that's what a lot of the DJs, because this was a time when a lot of the classic rock DJs were not into the new punk thing, in the late 70s. And so anything that looked like punk, they're like, I'm not playing that. So they just looked at the cover and they said, punk band.
Wow.
So Don said, all right, give me 6 weeks to break these guys. And if they don't break, I'll give up, and I'll do it on my own dime. So he flew around and talked to all his buddies that he had in the industry and wined and dined people and got them to listen to the record, while they were together. And they thought, well, okay, yeah, this is really good. Nobody just gave it a chance, I guess.
Yeah.
And, long story short, he got it broken, and Breakdown hit the record, and they might have gotten dropped if it hadn't been for him. So anyway,
that is amazing.
It takes one person to have a vision for the band, and one person to make somebody else who may be able to expedite that vision.
Take it up another level.
It takes one person, one person.
Yeah, that was about 78, I think, right, Dan? Because I remember that at that time, my buddy, who was a keyboard player, said, hey, have you heard this song? Rodney on the Rock's been playing it every Sunday night. He played a live version of Breakdown
cool.
in 78. And I was like, no, I've never heard this. And that was my introduction to him. And I thought, man, this is some great stuff. And of course, I heard American Girl right after that. And I've always been a huge
American Girl fan. Was in one of my favorite movies, Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
There you go. Yep.
That was my high school days. That was my
Cameron Crowe, right? Cameron Crowe, I think, did that movie.
That's right.
Young Cameron.
Funny little story is Jim and I were shopping one day, and we got a call from somebody, do it really quick, that we had met maybe one time.
I did meet him one time.
A guy that had come to Zeppigan shows, and he was a friend of the drummer.
Yes, Steve Ferroni. He's Steve Ferroni actually performed his wedding ceremony.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I guess he's actually a minister, Steve Ferroni.
But he asked us,
I think
we're in the grocery store, and he said, do you want 2 tickets to Tom Petty? And Jim's all, let me ask my wife, do you want 2 tickets?
Well, I looked at my
to Tom
calendar
Petty?
and I said, hey, we're not playing that night. Do you want to go? So sure. So,
but I'm thinking, I don't know any Tom Petty. Oh, fine, I'll go.
I continued to sing her like 15 tunes. She's like, I know that.
I know
I know that.
I knew every single song. I could not believe. I knew it was the best concert ever.
Oh man,
I knew everything.
Dan, we go into the forum, and it's like, oh yeah, you're right down there. We're like, oh cool.
Floor.
And they're like, okay, you're right down there. We were 10th row.
Floor. Right. Tom Petty's daughter.
And our friend Alex.
Adria.
Yes, she was right in front. So
Nice.
that was phenomenal. We got to go backstage. We didn't meet Tom, but we met Ben Tench, met Ron Blair, and of course Steve Ferroni and Scott Thurston.
Yeah.
Met those 4. Didn't meet Mike Campbell and didn't meet Tom. No, they were the only ones that were not back there.
That's okay. It was a good show, and I was so thrilled to be a part of it. And I felt foolish because I was like, I don't know anything. I don't know any Tom Petty. but I knew them all.
Yeah,
I knew
you
them all. I couldn't believe
Absolutely.
it.
I hear that all the time to
Yeah.
people that they'll bring, a couple will come and one of them's a huge fan and the other doesn't know, and they get there and they're like, holy crap, I knew most of those songs in 90
Yeah.
minute
All
period.
of That was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
So
incredible.
many songs. I mean, he had a 40-year career, over
Oh,
40 years, and like mega hits between, from the first album through Wildflowers in 94 or 5. Just platinum album after platinum album. Just so much. So you have a couple generations in there, which is kind of
Yeah.
cool. So you get a
True.
lot of different
Yeah.
ages at the groups, at the shows that we do, and then you've got their kids. You got the next generation,
Yeah.
and they're like, "We love Tom Petty." So
Yeah. Well, we need to continue that because today I'm not loving what's coming out today. So
yeah. I try to be open minded. I don't want to be the grouchy old guy that goes, "Oh, things aren't like they used to be." But it's tough, man. I mean, there's great music out there. It's just not in the limelight.
you're right.
Like bands
You're
like
right.
Rival Sons, I freaking
That's
love
right.
those guys.
That's right.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Rival
So many
Sound.
great rock bands, but most of the rock is kind of a little underground now. It's just not really. It's not the limelight, but I'm okay with that, I guess.
Yeah.
So Dan, how old were you when you picked up your first instrument? And
what
what
was
was
the
your
first-
first
yeah.
instrument?
My first instrument was piano. And
Wow, really?
Okay.
4th grade, I think. So my grandfather, he's from Lithuanian descent. That's where my name Grennes comes from, was actually Grennes. And so his parents came over from Lithuania, I think in World War I time. And he was very musical, and he was one of these guys who could just pick up any instrument. And in Lithuania, there's a lot of folk instruments like accordion, mandolin, I believe, a lot of instruments like that were big there. And so he had a couple accordions, and he gave me one. And I was like in 3rd grade at the time. And the thing, I was almost as big as I was, it was one of those big, heavy ones with all the keys on it. And I didn't know what to do with it. So I took piano lessons, and I dug it, but I kind of picked up things by ear the way he did. I didn't really learn how to read music very well early on, because I just picked everything up by ear. My piano teacher would play it, and I would remember it, and I would kind of figure it out. So I kind of did that, and then I switched to saxophone in 6th grade, because I just thought it looked so cool, sounded so cool.
I love
So
the
I did
sax.
sax in the school bands.
Yeah.
6th grade and all the way through high school. And then in high school, I started messing around with guitar, but I kept playing bass lines, and I think subliminally I always loved drums. I always loved rhythm. I was kind of wanted to be a drummer. And actually my mom and my grandmother were snare drummers in the marching band.
Really? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, right. So I don't know. I think I always loved rhythm section without realizing it. And I thought, everybody plays guitar, I'll play bass. And I picked it up real quickly. And I just spent hours in my bedroom at that time. I was listening to Rush and Led Zeppelin.
Yes.
And I was just totally, John Paul Jones to this day is probably my favorite bass player. So I know I'm preaching to the choir there, but
absolutely.
I really took to the bass, and I just kind of, that kind of changed the trajectory of my life, I think, because before that I was kind of an outcast. I couldn't really find my way in school. I was kind of sort of searching. I wasn't into sports or anything, and I just was trying to find my way, like so many kids at that age. And as soon as I got in a band with the bass, and I was like, oh yeah, and then I started getting friends and get girlfriends. And I was like, all right, this is cool.
A lot of girls. But I mean, you always knew you wanted to be involved in music. And I always say this about musicians. It's an undeniable drive. A musician, it's a different, their drive is different. They have to have music. Yeah, you have to have music, and you want it in your life, and that's what you do.
Well, I think most of us are born that way. We're just kind of born with that sort of artsy gene.
That's right. That's right.
A little bit more creative than a lot of people, and
sure.
and you kind of take it in the musical direction.
That's right. Yeah,
Well,
100%.
what was the first band that you were ever in, Dan? Do you recall that?
Yeah. So I was in a band in high school. God, we had a bunch of different names, but I think we were Renegade, and then we were Tremor, and then I think we became Framework, and that was all through high school. So, and the guys that were in the band were all better than me at the time, and I had just started playing bass, so that was a good, kick in the butt to kind of. I was like, all right, I got to get going on this. So I was sitting at home, and the drummer was all into Rush, so I'm having to learn all these Geddy Lee parts. So it was good. It's always good to have a fire under you to kind of push you a little bit.
What age did you start on the bass, Dan?
I was 16.
Wow. Okay.
That's
perfect.
That's
perfect.
very similar to me. I
Yeah.
started when I was 15.
Wow.
And that's late in life for people to pick up an instrument. It really is. But like you, I was just telling somebody the other day that I would come home, I'd do my homework, and I would practice 3 to 4 hours a day. And that's the only way that you can really, get anywhere on an instrument, is to just put so much time into it and become so comfortable with the instrument that you can perform with players of a higher level. Like you said, I had been playing 2 months when I actually got into a band, and it forced me, like you said, to get good fast. I couldn't. I didn't want to let them down, and my dad was a professional bass player, so I had a lot of help from him in learning the fretboard and all of that stuff. So, that's
very cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, most people though usually start instruments 8, 9 years old, and they've had a lot more a lot more training earlier on
But
in
don't
their
you
life.
always say the first instrument, like you started with, should be the piano?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it's probably the best in order to, to learn theory and that sort of thing. Don't you, Dan? I mean,
Yeah. Well, it's nice because it's laid out in front of you. You can understand why there's sharps and flats and where they are. It just kind of makes sense. They're the black keys, and you've got the white keys here. So
Sure.
it's I think it makes a little more sense than guitar is just a little bit more about kind of positions and shapes that you kind of find on the fingerboard. But when you look at the piano, it just kind of makes a little more sense music theory wise, I think.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And now, in order to make the transition into being in Penny and the Heartshakers, so you had to play the guitar. When did you start doing that? And was that as a result of wanting to start the group, or did you kind of mess around with it a little bit beforehand and you thought, hey, I can play rhythm guitar? Or what were you thinking at that point?
Well, I've always had a guitar around, and I just usually use it to write because I've been working on writing stuff ever since college. When I was at Berklee College of Music, I took some courses that were kind of geared towards songwriting because that's something I was interested in. And it was always better to have some kind of chord instrument, so either a piano or a guitar. And since I liked rock a lot and I tended to write in the rock style, I kind of sort of geared more towards the guitar. So I always had one around, and I'm always strumming it. And, I was familiar with basic chords and stuff, but I never really played it in a band until I decided to do the Petty thing. And obviously I was like, all right, if we're going to do this, I need to play guitar, like Tom did. It would be a little weird if I played bass, in a Petty band. And, so it's pretty straightforward. I thought, all right, I can handle this if I practice it,
Yeah.
And, but he's good, man. He's not to be understated. He may be playing like what they call the campfire chords a lot, but he's a great rhythm guitar player. He's real solid. I could really appreciate that.
And he played some lead at the end of Mary Jane, right? When they played live. I remember that.
He did every now and then. He would do a lead, like at the end of Honeybee. Blues tune off of Wildflowers. Mike would do a lead, and then he would jump in. And I think their live version of Breakdown, he started out too. He did this bluesy thing.
Yeah.
That's right. I remember.
Yeah, he kind of like later on, he kind of got more confidence in it. But yeah, he's just a solid rhythm guitarist, and you know that's important. I think a lot of people don't realize the importance of a good rhythm guitar player. You know.
Well, let's jump to the point where you decided, okay, I'm going to do this now.
So
everybody's been telling me I look like him.
I was going to just interject on that because I read a little bit of your bio on your website, and you literally started because people kept on saying you look like Tom Petty, you sound like Tom Petty. So was it something that you were drawn to, or something you learned to do?
Well, you know, I was thinking about, okay, yeah, everybody keeps saying I should do this tribute. And I was in Rock of Ages at the time. That's what brought me to Las Vegas from New York. And we played that show. It's a Broadway 80s rock kind of show. And we did that for 4 years. And then we got our closing notice. And we were all kind of like, you know, God, what are we going to do now? You know, I'd never done anything else in Vegas than that show since I'd moved there. So I was kind of joking around. I was like, oh, maybe we should try that Tom Petty thing. And Chris Giacchino and Andy Gerald were both there in the band. And they said, you should totally do that. And I'll be in your band. I thought, all right. So, you know, started thinking about it. And that's when I went to watch that the documentary, Runnin Down and Dream.
Yeah. I've seen it.
Yeah.
So good. Like if anybody hasn't seen that and you're even the slightest Petty fan, you should definitely watch it.
Sure.
I think it's just as good as the Eagles one, which is also amazing.
Yes, history of
both
the Eagles.
long and both totally worth it.
Yes.
So that's what really got me into it, is kind of seeing the kind of guy Tom was and how he fought for his songwriting, publishing, and fought the industry like no one ever had before. And he kind of set a new precedent for you know, taking on record labels that were being greedy.
Yeah. I mean,
and then later on, they were trying to raise the prices for vinyl.
Yes.
In the 80s, and they started with the Heartbreakers because they were a big band, and Tom said, no. You're not doing that.
I love that whole section. I've seen that documentary, I think 3 times now, and you know, it's so cool that somebody that influential, you know, would say, no, we're not going to gouge, you know, the people that are, you know, putting food on our table.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, he didn't want to do that to his fans. You know?
That was awesome. And what year did you actually start the Petty and the Heartshakers project?
So we started in 2016. That's when I started kind of looking around, and I grabbed Chris and Andy for my band. And I started looking around, and I talked to my friend Barry Barnes, who's a fellow bass player here. And he knew a lot of people around town. And I had since I'd been doing Rock of Ages, I hadn't really been playing the club scene. So I kind of needed a little help there. And that's where I found Les Warner, who played drums with the Cult on the Electric album. And let's see who else I had. Chris, I had Andy. Brenda Fitz.
Brenda. We know Brenda. Yeah.
Her brother Brent plays with Slash. A lot of people. Actually, it's a really good musical family. They're both really talented.
Yeah, he's great. I hung out a lot with him on the Kiss cruise. And we would go to dinner after the shows at night, and he was such a nice guy, and that's how we met Brenda at your show.
Yeah, we did, but it was a beach show. I feel
it
like
was Newport Beach.
It was Newport Beach. I remember that. Yeah, beautiful scenic view. That's right.
That was a fun show.
Yeah, wasn't that great?
Yeah. I remember seeing Trey Cool riding his bike or something around there too, I think. And it's funny because I did the American Idiot show on Broadway, so I kind of know those guys from a while back. Somebody was like, "Hey, isn't that Trey Cool?" I was like, "Holy shit!"
That's awesome.
Hey, Trey.
Well, did you say that? So you played in Rock of Ages.
We saw that.
We did see that.
We did see
but
that.
What about, did you say Raiding the Rock Vault also?
Yeah. So I started playing that a lot of people have been in and out of that show. I started
Yeah.
kind of being the main guy here in Vegas.
I see.
I guess in 2019, end
Okay.
of 2018, I think,
Yeah.
right up until the COVID shutdown. And
Right.
the show hasn't come back yet, but they're supposed to be coming back in June again.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
great.
But
Yeah.
a lot of those guys are California guys from your scene.
Yes. That's right.
Robin and Howard Lease.
Yeah.
The house over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Art.
We actually, one of the guys that lives in Simi Valley, I see him quite a
Oh,
bit.
Robin.
Robin McCauley.
I see Robin. Yeah, I see
Yeah.
Robin quite a bit because we live in Simi Valley. So
Yeah.
I've seen
Oh.
Robin quite a
See him
bit
at
at different restaurants
every
and
once in a
That's
while.
right. Yeah, he
Yeah.
lives over there.
Yeah. Last place you'd see somebody like that.
Well, you know, we all need groceries.
Well, now, Dan, did you handpick the group? Is that how it came about, or you picked one guy and he suggested another, or how did that all come about?
I picked him myself, and then my friend Barry Barnes kind of helped. I was kind of talking to him about it. He's a great bass player, but he was pretty busy at the time, so I was looking for other bass players. And actually, Les also plays bass, and so originally we had him on bass, and then we had Andy Gerald, who plays everything. he's one of those guys that if you need a member in your band, he will play whatever it is.
Wow.
He's
That's
a great
awesome.
guitar player, bass player, and drummer, real
Yeah.
solid drummer. So Andy originally was playing drums, Les was playing bass. And then at some point another, they decided to switch. And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's
You know,
awesome.
So when you decided to do Tom Petty, did you have to manipulate your voice? Did you have to learn the tones of his voice, or did you just feel like you naturally sounded like Tom Petty?
Somewhere in the middle, I guess. I was listening to him a lot. And again, I didn't want to try to sound like a robot or anything. I wanted to be as natural as possible. So I kind of, would put in a couple of the inflections, a couple of the ways that he says words, just the accent a little bit, that sort of Florida Southern drawl, I guess. But other than that, it's pretty much just me just singing songs as I hear them. But, Jim, I don't know if you get this, but if you listen to a band that you're really into, sometimes I think it just kind of channels through you in a sense.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And if it's something that you're really into and that you've heard a lot and it's just part of your DNA, it kind of just sort of flows out of you in a way. And I think that's kind of what happens with me with the Tom stuff now, because I'm so familiar with it now that it's just kind of part of me.
Yeah, that's great. In fact, I was just having a conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and we were talking about that, Dan. And I think when you're in a tribute situation, it's extremely important that you are a fan of the music that you're playing, because, I've played with guys that I said, you have the skill set to do this role. Can you learn this, and this, and this? And they come and they learn and they play it. And then I've played with somebody who's doing the same role that's been listening to the music their entire life. And like you said, it's kind of just seeping through their pores. And it's like, there is no substitute for that, because the first person can learn it and they're playing it from their head. But the person that's been listening to it all their lives is playing it from the heart.
Yeah.
And it's a huge difference. It really is.
Yeah.
So we have Masha McSorley, which is in the Ragdolls. I don't know if you have seen the female Aerosmith tribute, the Ragdolls, but they are fantastic.
Yeah, they're so good. And
So Masha would like to know, what is your favorite Petty song?
I think that changes all the time, but
It changes.
right now I tend to gravitate probably more towards the album tracks than the ones you hear all the time, because it's fresher.
Yeah.
Shadow of a Doubt, I would have to say, is
love that. So good.
But there's another one that we do sometimes. It's pretty obscure. What is it called? It's off the playback box set, Ways to Be Wicked. that I really like. It's pretty obscure, but we dig it out every now and then.
Oh, cool.
It's there's a, I think he did it off the sessions from it was like 1982. Was that After Dark album? I think it was around there. And there was another band that covered it, and he's got a line in it that it's I think he's kind of referring to a voodoo doll reference, but he says something about ain't afraid to stick it in. What are you really getting at there? A woman, I forgot the name of the band, but it was a band that covered it that had a female singer, and Jimmy Iovine recommended they do that song, and she's like, I don't know. And then I think and Tom was like, it'll be fine, or Jimmy's be fine. And then I think Tom, maybe he had a drink or two in him later on, and he said something about, how do they feel about singing that line now? And
I'm going to show some,
like, all right, we're canning that song. But
some great pictures of, I mean, this right here is unbelievable. And I love your logo. Here's some pictures of you.
That's a great one.
You on stage. This is amazing.
Now, where did you find that Rick, Dan? That's beautiful.
Actually, it's not a real Rick, if I have to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a fake one, but I want to get a real one.
Yeah,
it's actually a Chinese knockoff, but it has the real pickups in it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
That's
great.
It's a budget Rick, but actually pretty solid. The good thing about it is I can travel with it, and I don't feel bad about banging it around and throwing it into an overhead in an airplane or whatever.
So aside from Petty,
who is your favorite band?
Yeah,
Dan, who would you say is your all-time favorite?
So
band?
okay, here's the question. You're on 101, just about to hit Santa Barbara. You're in a convertible, and you have to put music in your
CD
well, now
player.
it's not CD player. Now you have to Bluetooth your phone to your car.
Yeah, Apple CarPlay.
What are you gonna play?
Yeah,
I would put in Led Zeppelin, I think.
Would you? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I know. That's why when I started working with James Elliott and hearing about you guys, of course, and I went to see you guys, I was so into it because I'm just the biggest fan.
That's crazy.
I love Led Zeppelin. I mean, I never get tired of it, Dan. Never get tired of playing that stuff. People
it's
are
so
saying,
great.
Yeah.
I just finished a couple audio. I keep listening to audiobooks of Led Zeppelin. I just listened to one that was supposed to be geared towards John Bonham.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So good. So good.
Oh, man. Everything they did. I mean, I think there's only one tune that I don't really care for.
Which one?
Don't listen
Probably
to.
Probably my favorite.
No, it's not. It's Hats Off to Roy Harper.
Oh, no, I don't like it.
Oh, yeah.
That's about the only one that I can't say that I've really heard,
that you
a
love.
lot. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not my favorite.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. But everything else, I love.
That's a great album, though. Physical Graffiti, man, is so.
Oh yeah, man, that is so good. Love Physical Graffiti. We've done that album in its entirety, and it's just such a blast. Boogie with Stu. We brought in a guy to play the piano part on Boogie with Stu, and I got to play the mandolin on it. I love that. Love that little solo John Paul did on that.
Hey now, baby.
That's awesome.
Okay, so one question I've asked every single singer that's been on the show, because I've always been curious about it. Have you ever lost your voice and had to cancel a show?
Oh, that's a good one.
Has that ever happened the entire time?
Very recently, I had to cancel a show because of COVID. I had a show at Santa Fe Station here in Las Vegas at the Chrome Showroom, which is a nice room.
Yeah.
Really nice sound, pretty decent size.
Yes.
Really psyched about it. We were sold out, or we were almost sold out. And 3 days before, I was feeling a little funky.
Oh no!
Oh no! I feel a little feverish. And I took the test and it was positive. I thought,
Positive, positive. You had to
Now,
cancel it. The entire show.
How long ago was this?
that was February 5th.
Wow,
so it was
not too long
you
long
ago.
ago.
probably got the
Yeah.
Omicron then.
Omicron.
Yeah, I just got over it. So
What's it
yeah,
like?
luckily I was fortunate. I didn't have it was like a bad cold for me, and
Yeah.
pretty much back on my feet in a week or so. Had a lot of cough, but so
Yeah.
okay after that.
I
But
think
yeah,
that's
I was fortunate. Most of my friends that had it early on had it a lot worse. So I think it's
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a good thing. Is you know, it's so good to see shows coming back and you know, tourism coming back to Vegas, and I'm getting a lot of calls for bookings now. I'm sure you guys are as well. I can really see,
Yes.
you know, that we're really starting to climb out of this, and it's
Oh
just
my
so,
God. Well,
feels so good. You know?
I always say
Yeah.
musicians, I feel like I know everybody was hit hard, but I feel like musicians, because musicians function off of mass crowds. And
That's how,
and
they were able to make a living.
Yeah. And obviously our life came to a
Yeah.
screeching halt
In
in
fact,
April of 2020.
I wanted to ask you about that, Dan, because I remember you posting when all of that started happening that you actually had to move back to New York for a while. Is that right?
Yeah. Sarah and I, so we were unemployed like everybody else. Didn't have any other work. Sometimes part-time I would drive for Lyft and Uber, just to kind of fill in the blanks when we needed extra money, if the gigs were slow. And at that time, you know, I didn't even think it was safe to drive, you know, for Lyft and Uber. Sarah had some kind of autoimmune stuff in the past and some asthma. So I didn't want to bring it back to her. So, you know, so we just kind of laid low. And then I guess when they took the boost out of the unemployment, I think it was at the end of that summer, 2020, in August, we didn't even have enough to pay rent. So we thought, all right, let's go back to New York, because she still had a place where she grew up in Chelsea, Manhattan. That was still technically in her name. So we just thought, all right, let's go back and sit it out. And she's there now, because she's been taking computer courses, wanting to be a full stack web developer in the meantime.
Okay.
So we kind of been back and forth. So I've been working here, just trying to get things going again in the scene, and I'm flying back and forth to see her. And she finishes in June, so hopefully we'll be back full time after that.
Well, in fact, I was going to ask you, do you have any shows coming up in the Southern California area at all?
Let's see. Yes, we have actually in Southern Cal. It's going to be a little bit. We have Temecula, Old Town Temecula Theater.
John Deere.
May 27th, I believe. It's Friday. I think it's the 27th.
Look at our.
Oh, look, we may have to make a little trip down to Temecula. We love Temecula.
Yeah.
We love it.
And we're also going to be in April 9th. We're going to be at Tortoise Rock in 29 Palms, Tortoise Rock Casino.
Okay.
Near Joshua Tree.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay.
We're doing some Arizona dates. We're actually going to Casino, Arizona this weekend. I saw you guys were just there, right?
Yes. That was so
I
much fun.
I love some Casino, Arizona.
She won $700.
I did.
Nice.
You know, it's a great place. It's a 5-star resort. The rooms are beautiful.
Well, I mean,
you can't beat that.
That's nothing there, Dan. We played at the what was
Santa Fe
Station out there in Vegas.
Yeah. The boys were loading out.
We're
I'm
loading
like,
out.
I'm gonna sit down in a machine and just kill some time. I won $3,000 slot. Slot.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Vacation time.
Yes. Well, Neil, we wanted to mention Dan's original project.
Uncle
we
Pumpkin.
have a video.
Uncle Pumpkin. So let's show the video. It's a great video. I just watched it. That's amazing. So you want to give us a little history on Uncle Pumpkin?
Sure. So I've always been kind of into, when I write music, I've always kind of been into kind of power pop stuff. I know that term is kind of loose, but I was big into the Beatles when I was growing up. My parents played a lot of Beatles records, and that was big on me. And then ever since, I've always been into bands that kind of have those sort of melodic, kind of catchy songs. In the 90s, I was really into Jellyfish and some of those bands out of California that were kind of reviving that style.
Yes.
And also the late 70s mod stuff like Joe Jackson, XTC, Elvis Costello. Love that stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
And so I just kind of started writing that kind of stuff. And I just never wanted to, I don't know, because it's rock, I didn't want it to call it the Dan Grennes Project or whatever. I wanted it to be a band name because all my bands that I appreciate, all my favorite bands had a name, you know, and I wanted it to be a band. So I just gave it a name, Uncle Pumpkin. And then I do have New York guys that are really my core guys of the band.
I see.
But yeah, I've just kind of done that. I always do that over the years. And every once in a while I put out an album and stuff. And I wrote this song for this video that you're about to play. Somebody approached me for an indie movie that they were doing called The Last Christmas. What was it? Last Christmas Story, I think, or something. Okay. And it never really got anywhere, but they asked me to write a song, kind of a love song. And I was like, wow, I don't usually write love songs or ballads, but I'll give it a go. And this song just kind of came to me, and I was sort of thinking of Aerosmith, You See Me Crying, or like one of those kind of older piano ballads.
Sure.
And so that's what came out. And I did the video recently, just kind of, I guess during COVID shutdown, I felt like everybody needed to kind of come together, you know, just so much, you know, political unrest and, you know, tension all around the world. And I just wanted to make something positive about bringing people together and about love and all this stuff.
Right,
you know,
right.
I'm a modern day hippie, so what can I say?
Well, we
awesome.
loved it, and Uncle Pumpkin Advantages is what the song is called, correct?
Yeah. Let's take a
All right, let's go into it. It's amazing. I loved it. I watched the entire thing 2 times, so it's beautiful.
Awesome.
So here we go.
Something's creeping in, slipping through my skin. Something's drifting into my soul, residing against my will, controlling my motor skills, shifting my focus and my role. My heart goes faster when I walk past her. There's advantages of getting to know you. I'm just waiting for my cue. There's advantages of getting to know you. And I'm out of my league, but I'm beginning to see the truth. There's advantages for loving living my life with you. Ignoring our differences, beware what your best friend says. I'll grow on you like your favorite jeans. If you could just hang with me, away from these city streets, out where the air is cool and clean. I'll win you over, my four-leaf clover. chance for love and living my life with you. There's advantages getting to know you. I'm just waiting for my cue. There's advantages getting to know you. And I'm out of my league, but I'm beginning to see the truth. There's advantages for loving, living my life with you. There's advantages for loving, living my life with you. Oh, there's advantages for loving, living my life with you.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's
That's
great, Dan.
beautiful.
So good.
Thank you.
And you
Does the
wrote
band
that.
ever play live?
Yeah, actually, when I was in New York last April, we did a show at Arlene's Grocery, which is a kind of Lower East Side rock club in New York,
Oh.
and we played there. They had just started allowing few people in, like socially distanced, and we did a kind of a live video cast at the same time.
Oh, okay.
But I definitely want to get things going here in Vegas. Got some plans to do some shows before too long.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Great song, great video, great video,
Yeah,
great
very-
video.
I know. You put
The
all
whole
that
thing's
together.
great.
That was actually so Andy Gerald from my Petty band, who's
Yeah.
playing bass in Petty now, did a lot of the instruments. He played the drums, a lot of the guitars. I played some of the guitars and bass and the vocals.
Okay.
And so it was just the two of us kind of put that together. And then the video was just kind of all, I asked all my friends to send footage of loved ones and, whether it was couples or their relatives or whatever. And then I shot some footage in New York. You can see the riverside along the Hudson there.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
gorgeous.
yeah.
Together. Because that was the middle of lockdown. I was like, all right, there's got to be some way to put this together.
You're right. That's exactly what it is.
Your wife just said it. I'm so glad that you played that one. Is that her favorite?
It is.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Now, your wife's in Petty and the Heartshakers as well, right?
She is. Yeah, she sings. We do "Stop Dragging My Heart Around." And,
Oh,
she
yeah.
All right. So
do a good Stevie Nicks.
you put your
Yes.
wife in the band. Why am I not in your band?
Uh-oh.
Well, I think that's about all for tonight.
I'll let you guys work that out.
He's all right. Thanks, Dan. Have a great night.
Here's the credits.
Oh, man. All
His
right.
wife is in the band.
His wife is.
I want to be the Lucy Ricardo.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I
man.
try. He won't let me.
she
No,
does a she does a killer.
she's really talented. Sarah's a great singer and dancer, and it's kind of in her family. And
That's awesome.
she never really had the confidence to kind of get out there, I think, and do it. So I was like, we need a background singer, so get out there.
So we
Yeah.
say we have some Sarah fans coming in.
Uh-oh.
So she sings
sings
great.
great.
Oh
Loves
yeah,
Sarah.
Cherie. Hey, Cherie. We know
Um,
Cherie. She's awesome. She's actually a singer-songwriter as well.
That's awesome. That's
Oh,
awesome.
is that right? Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's in the LA area.
Well, okay. So, I think last question is what if you had the time to do any other tribute, what would it be?
think that's pretty easy actually, because I've been wanting to do a Cars tribute for a long time.
Oh, there you go.
And
I
there's
can't
not.
find a Rick Ocasek because I want to be the Ben Orr guy.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's
I could play bass and and I love Ben's voice so much. He's kind of the undersung guy. Obviously Rick was driving the bus, but
sure.
Ben sang on a lot of those hits. And just that beautiful voice.
Oh,
but it's hard to find a Rick Ocasek, man. I tell you.
You're right. It's tough to find somebody that can say that has that character voice.
Yeah.
But
those first two albums, oh man, I love them so much. That first album, every song on there is great.
Yeah, that is really good. Well, there you go. I mean, you know what you could do if you ever put that together.
Any Ricks out there? I'm waiting.
You could do Petty and the Cars, and you could call it Petty Car Theft.
There you go.
Petty car theft.
This guy's going places over here.
I know. Always thinking.
I like it. Well, there is a Petty Cash, which I think is actually brilliant.
Petty Cash,
Petty and Cash songs. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Johnny
yeah.
Cash
That's
songs.
right. I've heard of that group. Yes.
Yeah,
Petty.
I think it's a great combination.
Well, Cindy says Dan and Sarah are a super couple. So glad to have met them. I would love to meet Sarah. So the next time, she's in New York right now, but when you guys are together, we have to get together and do a fun little night together.
Absolutely. Definitely.
Yeah. So much fun.
Well, thank you so much, Dan, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. This has been
just
great.
so thrilled to have you. I can't wait to see you live. I saw a video, which I was.
Well, you did see him at Newport Dunes, but for some reason she can't remember, Dan.
Well,
I don't know why that is.
No, I can't remember.
But it might have been a little bit of that.
No, it wasn't. There's so many shows that I go to.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Well, thanks so much for having me on with your show. This is awesome.
Yeah, no, man, it was great having you. We really appreciate you taking the time. And there's going to be some questions on the side there that we didn't cover. If you want to, answer those when you get a chance.
You'll see them on after the show. After the show finalizes, the questions will still be there. So if you want to go back and answer some of them, we have a lot of people who joined us. A lot of your friends, I'm sure, that have questions for you that we didn't get to. But again, thank you so much. We just had such a great time with you tonight.
Awesome. Thank you. Can't wait to see you guys again.
Yeah, we'll be watching your schedule and see when we might be able to get out to a show.
Sounds great, man.
All right, Dan.
All right, Dan. Good night.
Cheers.
All right, talk to you soon.
All right.
So this weekend, you want to recap?
So this weekend we have Friday night.
Concert Lounge, Led Zeppelin. We're going to be starting at 9:00. Tickets are $15. It's Friday, March 5th. The Concert Lounge in Riverside, California. And the very next night, we're headed over to the Coach House.
Yep.
We're going to be playing with Gary Wallenmeyer's tribute to Neil Young called
Hello, Mr. Soul.
That's right.
Yeah.
And he's opening for Wild Child.
Yeah.
Which is an incredible Doors tribute. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that night.
Yeah, he's opening for Wild Child that night. So we get to.
But he's fantastic. And Wild Child, we haven't seen them for a long time.
So, and we'll get to talk to. We'll get to talk to Dave Brock.
Yeah.
Catch up with him. Maybe we'll invite him to come on the show. That would be great.
Yeah.
And then the very next day, so 2 shows for Led Zeppelin, one at 2 p.m. and one at 6 p.m. These are all acoustic shows. Only 50 people, 50 seats available in that little venue. Thank you, Sarah.
Can't wait to hang with you too.
Yeah,
I can't wait to meet you. That's awesome.
Thank you so much. Led Zeppelin at the Coffee Gallery, 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. We're doing all of the acoustic classics.
Yeah.
As well as the other songs acoustically that you wouldn't expect us to play. So you want to show that little graphic there?
Yes. So that's a Coffee Gallery, right?
That's right. That's correct. Coffee Gallery.
I got that right here. I got it. So you're going to see us.
So see that number there? Oh wait, you can't see the number because
Well,
hey,
hold on.
Ray.
Hi, Ray. Hold on, Ray. Thank you. I love the fact that Ray says he's become a fan of everybody we interview. And you know what, Ray?
Thank you, Ray.
I love that you said that because that is the goal. Our goal is to bring light to
That's
all
right.
these amazing artists,
Yeah,
amazing
they're
artists
all
and
so
friends.
good.
So thank you
Yeah.
for saying that because that's a huge thing for us.
Absolutely. And so there's the number, guys. You see that? Please call 626-798-6236
Make your reservations.
for
Make your reservations.
for either 2 p.m. or 6 p.m. that
If
day.
you're in the Altadena area, if
Yeah.
you're in
which is like Pasadena,
Yeah.
San Gabriel
if you're
Valley.
in the
If you're in the Ventura County
area,
or San Fernando Valley,
yeah.
Brenda will be at
I'll be at this show,
Ronstadt
right here.
Revival.
Ronstadt Revival at the Canyon Club on Sunday for Soft Rock Sundays, March 6th. Doors open at 6. Hello, Mr.
Yeah.
Soul is at 7, and Ronstadt Revival is at 8.
That's right.
Yeah, so it'll be a fun show.
Yes.
It'll be a fun show. So
Yeah.
you want a little Ronstadt or you want a little Zeppelin?
Yeah. It depends on what your tastes are.
Yeah.
But we can't thank you enough for joining us
Thank
tonight,
you guys.
guys.
Such a fun night.
We love hanging
Thank you,
with you every
Dan.
week.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Sarah, for chiming
Yes,
in. We can't wait to
yes.
meet you, Sarah.
And so I guess that's going to do it for tonight. God bless you. Keep on rocking in the free world.
Well, yep. And I'm going to do a little. All
This is the song that Mike McManus wrote for us.
right, here we
We're going
go.
to leave with our theme song. Thank
All
you.
right.